at 10:20, but definitely we have a hope story here this morning. You know how time goes sometimes, um, but we're definitely thankful that Mr. Constantine was able to make it here with us this morning. So we have Nicholas Constantine with us here, and good morning, Mr. Constantine.
Good morning, Natoya. It's so good to be here.
Lovely.
It's a privilege for me to be here.
Indeed, it's good to have you here as well. And you know, guys, I want to tell you how I met Mr. Constantine. You know, that in itself is a hope story. So I was trying to arrange to get someone for this Sunday's People Helping People segment. As you know, the segment, what it's about already. And you know, I said I just want to continue on the drugs and etc. etc. However, I met Mr. Constantine at the church compound, and he was talking about the boat. He was talking about the Logos Hope and whatnot. And you know, I said, you know, maybe we could talk about that. Logos Hope on the Hope program sounds good, you know.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys would have been on the station already. Yes. However, so I told Mr. Constantine, you know, I really wanted to continue on the topic of drug and whatnot. And there comes out, Mr. Constantine tells me that, well, I had a drug block.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So this morning's People Helping People segment is entitled From the Drug Block to the Hope Corner.
All right. It's a story.
It's a story.
I think the thing is, what we need to know, life is a journey.
Indeed.
And it's so important when you can see God take you every step of that journey, you know, it's like landmarks in your life.
Right.
And coming from that type of background, from the drug block, I had my own drug block. I used to sell my own drugs, cocaine, marijuana, you know, alcohol, you name it. We had that on the block.
Right.
Now, when my mom left me when I was 13 years old, that's when my life started to spiral downward.
Spiral, okay.
You know, in Trinidad and Tobago we call it a force right.
Right.
Yeah, I had to get force right.
Yes, yes,
you know,
yes.
I had to learn how to get my own clothes, do my own thing. You know, cook. You know, that was stuff that we grew up. My mom, my dad, and you know, Natoya, it was really a hard journey because I spiraled downward. I was hurt. I was in pain. I felt neglected. You know, my dad and them, they were involved in drugs also.
Well.
So I grew up in that household. Yeah. It was a broken family.
Right.
So growing up in that broken family lifestyle, I was broken.
Yeah.
You see? And now education was on the line, lifestyle was on the line, moral values on the line. Mm-hmm. So when my mom left, that was it.
Yeah.
You know, the boundaries was gone. It had no restrictions.
Yeah.
You know, do what you want, go after the girls, live the lifestyle. You're on the block. I mean, I saw friends of mine died right close to me on the drug block. Right. They got shot right wow. close to me.
And this was in Trinidad?
That was in Trinidad. You know, and then when you grow up in Diego Martin, you know,
yeah.
I'm from Diego Martin, and that
right.
was all down in the areas where you wouldn't find, you know, police.
Yeah.
Is almost restricted for some people to even go down there.
Right.
But growing up on the block and learning, you know, I always had a form like religion. I was really into religion, you know, really into trying to find out about life and stuff like that.
Excellent.
You know, so I would go get high, try to read the Bible. You know, they call it the holy herbs. So
right.
you know, you go to get. At one point, we started to smoke the New Testament.
Wow.
Because the paper, the paper was so thin, you could use it if you run out of paper. And some of you probably listening, you might say, "Wow, you didn't know about all that," but the stuff that I'm revealing this morning is things that we do on the block. And we used to smoke the New Testament book, the small one. We used to smoke that paper.
Wow.
Because when you run out of paper, where you go? Okay, let's smoke the word.
Wow. Wow. This is definitely new to me.
Yeah. So we would do that.
Yeah.
But then I always wanted to know more about life.
Right.
And God.
Right.
So seeing friends die on the block, selling the drugs on the block, going after the disco and the carnival and the jumping up and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Right.
I said, you know, I started in search mode. And one night I had a dream. And in the dream, I dreamed that Trinidad, and you know, Trinidad, the Twin Towers,
right.
It was being destroyed by fire. I mean, when I looked at this in my dream, I saw the fire coming and hitting the buildings, and I knelt down in the dream and I started to cry. I was living with a girl that time.
Mm-hmm.
And living with this girl now, I woke up and I told her about the dream. She says, no, go and play a mark. You know, like go and play fire, or go and play dog, you know, the kind of Chinese stuff like that. She said, why do you go and play a mark? You probably might win some money. I said, no, this dream is different.
Yeah.
And I used to dream a lot. I got a lot of dreams. But this particular dream was different. I mean, I saw the movie, The Ten Commandments, you know, it's so popular in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
You could have go to the cinema and watch that. But it was different. It really shook me. Because in the dream, I told God, I said, God, don't come yet.
Wow.
I'm not ready. And I woke up. And she said I was mad, and she said, you're crazy, you probably smoked too much drugs. And all this kind. But one evening, that dream took place on a Wednesday. The Thursday, I was going to meet my dad. And as on my way to meet my dad, I saw a friend. And we used to hang out together. You know, these days they say, that's my dog, that's my horse.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my friend. And we used to hang together. We did a lot of crazy stuff together. When I saw him, he was different. Wow. His hair was cut. He had dreads.
Right.
His hair was cut. He was neat. He was tidy. I said, buddy, what's up with you? He said, listen, I changed my life. I said, what? He said, I accept Jesus. I'm a Christian. I said, no way. Wow. A devil like you? I told him that. I said, a devil like you? He said, the Lord really touched my heart and changed.
Right.
I decided to tell him my dream. And just like any believer or Christian, he said, well, why don't you come to my church?
Wow, that's right. One time, just drop it in right there.
So he gave me the invitation,
Yes.
And, I told him, I said, listen, I can't promise you, because on those days, when you promise something on a block, it means something.
Yes.
You know what?
Especially to a buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you're going dying, you're going down dying, that's your friend.
Yeah.
So I tell him, I said, listen, okay. He insisted, I made a promise. I said, okay, I'll be there.
Right.
And now, the thing is, God have a funny way of doing stuff, because he set things up to have an encounter.
Yes, serious. I'm telling you.
And on the way from by my dad, I had to pass in front of the church.
Wow.
So now, the Friday, you dress with your best. That's what you're out there, you're on the street life, you dress your best, you put your half bottle of cologne on you,
right,
and you're going out. That was the Friday,
yes.
You're on target, you want to do something tonight, So I'm going down the road now to pass, and I have to pass by the church.
Yeah.
So now, I stopped by I said, listen, I passed the church straight, and then I said, nah, I can't do that. Let me go and at least tell him I can't come. There was this usher at the door, and I asked the usher, I said, good night, ma'am, could you go inside and tell my friend, I could see him, I saw the shirt, it was a green shirt, I said, could you go in there and tell him, please, I can't come. She said, sir, I can't do that. And she gave me attitude. Yes. She moved the whole body with the hand. And, I was getting upset. I said, listen, you probably didn't understand what I said. But could you please go in and tell my friend, because I made a promise I would come. Yeah. Tell him I can't come, please. I told her with the rose, I told her the color of the shirt. She says, mister, listen, you don't understand. This is my position here. The pastor gave me this position. I cannot leave here.
Okay.
No, well, I was upset. I got upset. So I said, listen, you don't understand. I just smoke weed. I just drink alcohol. I can't go into a holy place.
Right.
Thought that would change her mind. She gave me the whole hand and the waist and everything. She says, mister, you don't know me. And you don't understand my position. She fling open the door and she said, go in for yourself, because I can't move from here. And I walk in. I got so upset, I just walked in the church. That was the best foolish mistake I ever made in my life.
That's good. That is good.
And I walked in that church and I sat down there. And the pastor preaching and talking what he needed to talk. And I sat there. And he made a call. He says, if you want to change your life, come. Right. If you want to know where you're headed, come. If you want to know about everything, just come. He made that call up. And I just felt something push me to go up there. And I moved up. I was standing there now, watching at my feet, and I cursed in the church. I said, what am I doing up here? Yeah. And I look around, as there's a line of people. So the pastor, he prays for the line of people. He skips me and prays for the young lady that was at the side of me.
Right.
And I'm standing up there all alone like a fool now. I'm feeling like this fool, like what did I do? He's embarrassing me. You know, probably he smelled the alcohol, probably he smelled marijuana and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's talking, God is going to touch your life and change you, and all these things he's preaching. And I said, listen, I want to go back to my seat. So I turned now to go back to my seat, and he touched me on my shoulder. He says, young man, what do you want here? I said, well, you said all you want is prayer to come up.
Yeah, and change your life.
Yes, to change my life. I said, well, I'm going back to my seat. He says, no, well, wait, we're going to pray for you. And he started to call all these men in the church. Well, I thought it was witchcraft. But I was involved in all kind of crazy stuff.
Yes.
So he called all of them. He said, don't worry, we're going to pray for you.
Yeah, special prayers, huh?
Special prayer. And they came and they laid hands on me.
Yes.
And started to pray. And I started to weep.
Wow.
I was in tears. I just started to cry. That was the first time I encountered true love. Now, in my family, boys, we never hugged.
Yeah.
I couldn't hug my brother because they say you're gay if you hug.
Yeah, what's going on there?
You understand?
Yes.
But all these men just embraced me with the love of Christ.
Yes.
And they laid their hands and they prayed for me. And that night I was in tears. I just got messed up. I was in tears.
God started to purge
and he started to touch my heart and a flashback. I started to get flashback of all this stuff.
Right.
Flashback of the night. I wanted to kill myself one night because I just wanted to end life.
Right.
So my girlfriend and I, we decided to do a Romeo and a Juliet. So we smoked enough drugs to say, listen, let's just do this thing.
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, well, you go first. So you go first and then let me see, and then I'll come after and meet you.
Right.
She goes up to this tree now, ties the sheet around her neck, and she jumps off. And as she jumps off, snap! And my eyes, I was just shaking. All of that flashback started to come to me.
Yeah.
I was just in tears.
Wow.
I was just in tears. God started to work in my life.
Yes.
And when I stood there, and when I was standing there, he started to show me snapshots of the past.
Yes.
And I said, yes, Lord, I want you. I want change. I want deliverance from this. I want to turn around.
Yes.
And all these men, after they prayed for me, all these men started to hug me. It was weird for me.
Yes.
But the embrace was different.
And you didn't feel uncomfortable.
No, I didn't feel.
You just felt the
I was
peace
like,
and
I
the
felt,
love.
I felt love.
Yes.
That's right. That's the words he used.
Yes.
I felt true love.
Yes.
And I felt, I felt important. I felt treasured. I felt precious in the presence of the Lord. And these men hold me and they said, don't worry, we're going to make it through life.
That's what we're saying.
No, my girlfriend was waiting for me. That was the end. I said, oh yeah, I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ in my heart. Better roses, I could live this life now.
Yes.
Everything is over. No, I went home that night, the Friday, Sunday, I had to come back to church.
Right.
My girlfriend now at that time, she's looking for me. Because the Friday I was supposed to meet her, but I met with God.
Right.
And God have a way, He's changed
Everything.
the route.
Yes. Yes.
He's the best GPS he could ever have.
Absolutely.
And he changed the route, and I forgot girlfriend and started to focus on him. Go up to my dad's house, and my dad said, don't worry, these church people gonna fool you. I said, no, Dad, I found this thing, it's for real. It's for real, He says, no, you're just going to do another 3 months, a year, and it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Now it's going into about over 20-something years. I've been serving the Lord.
Yes.
No, 30-something years, sorry.
30-something years, right.
Serving the Lord.
Excellent.
And now, I told my dad, and my girlfriend now, this Saturday evening comes and sees me. She says, okay, you're a church boy now, so you're going after church girls. I said, no, I'm going after the Lord. He really touched my heart. Sunday morning, now I ended up in church in the morning. The best church clothes I could ever have on.
Right.
The best shirt I could ever call a church shirt.
Right.
And I'm going into church, and she's standing at the door now. And she rips my shirt.
So she's probably saying, what do you think you're doing?
What's this?
Yes.
You can't just do this. You can't just change your life. And she rips my shirt off of me. And I'm going to hit her.
Yeah.
I got angry. I mean, you're saved, you're church boy now.
Yes.
But it's not complete.
No.
So I'm going to hit her now.
Yes.
Because I'm upset. She ripped my clothes. I want to go in and serve God. And as I'm going to hit her now, like I'm in a trance, I'm going to hit her. And the pastor, as I'm going to hit, that's what I heard. He held my fist. And he says, Nicholas, what are you doing? Go into my office now. And I run into his office in tears, saying, Lord, I'm sorry. What was I going to do? But there's a process. Life is a process.
Absolutely.
Change of life is a process.
Yes.
You know, everybody want the microwave thing now, you know. You want it good,
10
you want
seconds.
prosperity, you want success, you want all like that.
Yeah.
And it brings me to tears sometimes because there's a generation dying out there. And we have a treasured message of hope for them.
Absolutely.
And when I went into church, you know, she came following after me, but she didn't stay. Because she was after me. She wasn't after God.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
that's a very powerful point. Even let me just stick a pin right there for a little bit. You know, sometimes persons might invite you to church and you're going to church because of them, you know. But the good thing is, you know, I remember speaking to a group of young people one time, and they said, you know, but God is so good that He uses still that person coming with their own motive, but God wants them, so He's not gonna transform them. Our message is gonna hit them so hard that they'll be like, what just happened there? You understand?
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
amazing. I wish she had stayed, but
Is it?
yeah. God would have done.
But he, you know, I believe, I mean, the love of Christ, He said, even while we were yet in sin,
Yes.
He died for us.
He died for us.
You know, even yet we were doing crazy stuff, He still loves us.
Yes.
And you know, that whole transformation period started in my life there. And then from there, now, I wanted to go to do ministry.
Right.
You know, I told my pastor, I said, listen, I can't stay at home. It's smoking too much drugs.
Yeah.
It's pulling
The
me back.
environment is toxic.
It's pulling me
when
back.
it is you make that change, this is the next thing. Let me stick up another pin. I have a pack of pins here, guys. When you make that change in your life to do something, you have to now purge your environment yourself. You know, sometimes people think, you know, well, I got baptized, so everything is gonna happen. You know, as soon as I come out of the water, it's gonna happen. But you have to remember that you have to make the decisions now.
For sure.
As you walk along with God. So that's excellent that you started to purge your environment.
I should say something like that because it's a purge with a relocation. God likes to relocate you.
Absolutely.
Because He wants to use it to your fullest extent.
Absolutely.
He wants all your potential, your purpose, and your destiny
We were
to be
created,
fulfilled.
all of us created with a
Purpose,
but
that's
you
right.
know, we have to find it.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to find it.
So now, with all that, I realized it was a process I was going through. You know, God was processing me.
Yes.
And I wanted to be involved in ministry. So now, the whole life was changing. You know, I couldn't stay on my job. My friends invited me one evening. They said, okay, we're going to put a Jesus movie on for you. We're going to do our thing on this side. And then in the middle of it, that was it. It was a crazy thing. You know, pornography goes on, then all these kind of crazy. And
they set you up.
They set me up.
I've been through that.
So they said, Nicholas, listen, you're not going to make it through this. I said, who told you that?
Yeah.
I want to make it through this.
Yes.
So they keep giving you like 2 years. You're going to make it only 3 years.
Yes.
And that. So now I said, okay, I want to change my life. And now I told my pastor, I said, listen, I can't stay at home. What do you want? And he said, okay, why don't you come to church and stay at the church? And I slept in church for 3 years on the pulpit, reading all his books. He says, Nicholas, don't touch my library. I'm reading all his books every night. And I'm studying the Word, into the Word, on the ground, listening to God. And I said, what is this, Lord? The logos, I know I'm high speed in here because I want to get the story in.
Yeah, and I know, I'm looking at the time too, and I'm so into this, you know, what's happening.
So the logos is coming. Guys, listen real quick because the logos was coming now. The logos came to Trinidad in 1994. I was for the first time, I was a volunteer. And I decided to go volunteer for 2 weeks.
Right.
It ended up being for 1 month.
Right.
Now, in that space and time, the Lord spoke to me to go to the mission field. I told my pastor, I said, listen, pastor, I want to go to the mission field. And he said, okay, sure, we want to support you to go there. And I ended up going to the mission field. You know, I didn't see my mom. She left me at 13, so she's away trying to get a better life.
Right.
And I'm sailing around the world now telling people about the good news.
Yes.
You know, it's blessings and obedience. I obeyed God and the Lord blessed me with my wife. She's from Argentina. You know, Dios te bendiga por la gente que sabe en español. Dios te bendiga y qué buen programa está haciendo. Bendiciones.
Sí,
So,
sí.
So, I mean, I'm telling you, and then on the ship now, I'm sailing around for 5 years. We did logos too. And then we return here now to Trinidad and Tobago to empower young people in the church to get involved in God's plan.
Excellent.
But really quick, I know the time is really at the edge here, but really quick, really quick. This story I think would be nice for the listeners, for everybody that's listening. My mom left me when I was 13. She left Trinidad for 32 years. Last year she came back for Mother's Day.
Wow.
No, that was the
time.
first time after 32 years. And now my mom, now she calls me, she says, hello son, you know, she's talking Yankee. You know, and she said, hi, what are you doing? I said, okay, mom, wait. She said, a month I've been here already. I said, mom. So now, to make a long story short, I brought my mom home with us. She stayed with us. Now listen, I grew up, I hated my mom. I didn't like her because she left me. You know, that was abuse. And now she's...
You would experience that at 13, that's the age you want to be nurtured and guided.
For sure.
You know?
And now that was an empty space. Now she's back here in my home, and I'm fighting now within myself not to remember the past, to forgive her completely.
Yeah.
My wife says, why don't you just forgive your mom? Because Christ forgave you.
Yes.
You need to forgive.
Excellent.
And I had to forgive my mom. I had to come to terms to say, Mom, I forgive you. I don't mean it. And you know, in that space and time, I started to show my mom so much love. That's why I was so happy, because I walked in the church for the first time with my mom.
Yeah.
First time in a church, walked hand in hand with my mom for Mother's Day. Love blew her away because people started to hug her in church.
Yes.
That she spent a month with us. The last week in that month, she said, I can't take this no more. I said, what? We can't take no more, Mom. She said, I can't take you guys. Whatever my mom wanted. If she wants stew, curry, she wants kalalupe, lauwa, cooking it for her. She said, I can't take this love no more. I said, what do you mean, Mom? What's happening? She said, I don't know why you guys love me so much. I just can't take it no more. I want what you have.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. When
because it's real. It had to be real.
So good. Yes.
It can't just be words. It had to be a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And Christianity is a lifestyle, and she saw that in us. And I had the opportunity to bring my mom to the Lord in my house.
Amazing.
And she said, I want this thing, and we embraced her. And I got the privilege to baptize my own mom.
Yes.
And she left Trinidad and Tobago knowing the love of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And knowing who God is.
And having an opportunity to transform her life and also transform the lives of others. That's amazing.
So, I mean, I always encourage people, spend time with your family. Don't matter if they're in Christ or out, if they're in church or not, love them.
Yes.
We're called to love. When situations squeeze you, you should be Jesus' squeaky toy. Every time something squeezes you, Jesus should come out.
Absolutely.
Not being upset and angry and frustrated and depressed, but sharing Christ with everybody. And that's what we do. Love God and love people.
I love that, Nicholas. Listen,
Listen,
wanted to
we had to come back again. I think we had to have a part 2. And I know this, it touches my heart when I could share this. And then, you know, it's just to love people. Everywhere I go, we just love people, you know, just embrace them, give them a hug, a shake.
Absolutely everything.
If he says we're the salt and the light of the world, wherever we go, we should bring light. It should light up the place.
Absolutely.
People should be happy and smile and say, wow, I was having a bad day.
Absolutely.
But, you know, everybody who is listening, I want to encourage you, you know, just show love to people. We have a lifespan. We have probably about 89 years. If you're going organic, you might do 100.
Yes.
If you're doing Chinese, you might do 105. But we have a lifespan.
Absolutely. But when you're doing the hope of God, you can
God.
do as long as He permits.
Amen.
Yeah?
Amen. But He gave us that time.
Absolutely.
And we had to just...
Yes. You imagine Noah and all of these 900 and...
Seriously. Not in these days, huh?
Yeah. You see, and that's what sin did to the world.
It did.
You know?
It crushed it, you know.
Absolutely. It really, really crushed it. But I'm definitely looking forward to the hope, you know, to just eat all kind of fruits and just, you know, just see the light shine from God and, you know, be in His presence.
Could I say something? The Bible says Christ in us the hope of glory. So we carry hope with us.
Absolutely.
So when people encounter us, they should feel hopeful.
That's right.
Not helpless.
That's right. And this is the people miss that. This is what the whole program is about. You should be here every Sunday, Nicholas.
No, because you know we just put it to religious practices, but it's not about religion. It's about a relationship with someone who loves us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh God!
Oh my
Lord!
Lord!
We have to wrap things up because it's like a minute away from 11 o'clock, and this is where we head into our inspirational segment. Of course, I want you to text and WhatsApp me your inspirational messages. at 489-3828. You know how we do throughout that segment. Even before we do that, I know the Logos Hope they're stationed. Tomorrow you guys leave.
Yes, tomorrow we leave. Not tomorrow we leave. Tuesday we leave.
Right.
Tomorrow is open to the public from 2
so it's open
to 9:30.
Okay.
But today we're at the Good News SDA Church on their compound.
Yeah, that's opposite the Esplanade.
Opposite that, and then they're allowing us to use that compound there. I really thank God for Pastor Kirk and the elders there and allowing us to do that.
Yes.
Because today the ship is closed to the public, but we have that. You have an opportunity to come there. You can meet me there. You see my wife. You see my daughter there.
Yes,
you get to talk with us. You can share with us.
Yes.
You know, so that's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Excellent.
We have all sorts of books. We probably have about over 900 titles of books right there on that compound.
Right now.
Yeah.
And the prices are really good, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to have the books. These books, it's like, you know, this is what you have to download in your system these days. Forget about the movies and the bad music. I mean, nobody that listens to the whole program listens to bad music, right? So, indeed. So check out the Logos Hope right now. They're there at the opposite the Esplanade at the Good News SDA Church compound, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can also call them if you want to just find out any further information, 288-2318 or 492-6808. Let me call those numbers again, 288-2318 or 492-6809. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This was wonderful. You have me so in
God
tune
bless you.
into this. But, you know, just to know that I love your story, because there are persons out there with these thinking to themselves, you know, I can't, how to take the next step. And you have to know when you get that calling, when you get that inclination, God is not going to let go of your hands. He's always there. He's waiting. So just at that very moment, when you feel it, just hold on and just keep walking, keep moving forward.
That's it right there. Encounters with Him.
Absolutely.